Hi, and welcome, John Morris Show on a Monday on the Rogue Media Network. We are presented by the Brazos Landing in Waco and Alliance Bank, Central Texas, and glad you are with us. Hope everyone had a great Valentine's weekend. Garrett Ross is here producing. Brandon McGinnis is producing. It's Garrett's anniversary over the weekend. Hope that was good for you and your family. But glad everyone is with us on a Monday morning, and a lot to talk about today, and a couple of great guests coming up as well. But let's begin with basketball in the Big 12, and Jerome Tang, former longtime assistant coach here at Baylor, took over the Kansas State program. This was his fourth year there. It was announced last night that he was being replaced. Coach Tang fired by Kansas State. The announcement came from Gene Taylor, the athletic director at K-State, last night. And really, in listening to Gene Taylor's comments, he had a hastily called press conference last night. He flat out said it was because of Tang's comments after their loss to Cincinnati a week ago. It was last Tuesday. You remember that? He said, how coaches normally fall on their sword and take the blame and say, we will make it better. I have to make it better. But on this one, he said, our players don't deserve to wear the K-State uniform, and a lot of them won't be wearing the K-State uniform next year. And those comments are what K-State is using to fire Coach Tang, as Coach Gene Taylor said, with cause because of those comments. And what that means is if you were fired with cause, they wouldn't have to pay the buyout, which is reported to be $18.6 million. So Coach Tang has already released a statement of his own saying he will fight that. So that could get a little messy there in Manhattan as he tries to get maybe what he deserves, in a buyout that was clearly in his contract. So that is yet to be determined, but Baylor is headed to Manhattan, Kansas to play K-State. It comes up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock tip-off Central Time. Tomorrow night, Baylor will be the first team to play the Wildcats with an interim coach in place. And I haven't seen, Garrett, look and see.
It was Matt Driscoll.
It is Matt Driscoll.
Matt Driscoll,
okay,
from what I saw earlier from it was Matt Norlander.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Thanks for that. So Matthew Driscoll, another former Baylor assistant coach who was at North Florida for a number of years, in his first year as an assistant on Coach Tang's staff, has been named, according to Garrett, according to Matt Norlander, the interim head coach at Kansas State. So think about the intertwinings there as Baylor goes to K-State tomorrow. No Coach Tang on the opposite bench, but Matthew Driscoll is there. Bill Peterson is there. Coach P was on Coach Drew's staff the last few years, and now he's on staff there at K-State as well. And that's the situation Baylor will find itself in, heading to the Little Apple to play K-State coming up tomorrow night. We'll talk more about that. We'll be live with you from Manhattan, Kansas tomorrow morning in this time slot. So I really feel bad for Coach Tang. They were struggling this year. He was 71-57 in his 3+ seasons. This is his fourth season as head coach there. And it was, in some respects, a case of being too good too early. His first year at Kansas State, they won 26 games and went to the Elite Eight. And everybody said, this is the guy. We hired the right guy. And I think they did hire the right guy, but then things slowly, dwindled from there, never matched that 26-win mark or an Elite Eight appearance. And here they are this year, 10-15 right now. They're 1-11, their worst start ever in conference play, and tied with Utah for last place in the league. They just lost to Houston by 14 on Saturday. So that's the situation at Kansas State. Really feel bad for Coach Tang and Ray, his wife, and their family. But it can be an ugly business sometimes, and I think we're seeing that play out at Kansas State. All right, what else coming out off the weekend? Baylor basketball, we mentioned the men. They are at K-State tomorrow night, coming off the non-conference loss to Louisville on Saturday. 82-71 was the final. Bears did some good things, fell behind early, made a game of it, and then led by as much as 7 in the first half. Louisville made a run right at the end of the half, tied the game, and then really built a lead to start the second half. Pat Nunley, who is so good at what he does, is our color analyst on the broadcast. Pat correctly identified it as the final 3.5, 4 minutes of the first half was a Louisville run, and then the first 4 minutes of the second half, and then all of a sudden they're up by 15, and that's the game. And Pat said that stretch, the final 4 and then the first 4 of the halves was the difference in Louisville getting the win over Baylor on Saturday. Nice location, Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. Not a great crowd there. The interesting part about the game that I really didn't notice till Greg Bruner came down to talk to us at halftime. We were not on the court. We were up at a mid-level, so very accessible there to fans. And Greg came by and he said, "Where's the band and the cheerleaders?" And I thought, oh, you're right. Garrett, there was no band for either team, Baylor or Louisville, and no yell leaders for either team.
You would think that's something you want to bring a part of to create an atmosphere. If you have that's what I don't like about these neutral site games. I hate it in football and everything, because you lose everything about college athletics. Right. You're not able to bring it all.
It's too sterile, right?
Yeah, it's too corporate and everything too. But that's unfortunate for both programs, because I know that they would have loved to have them there in support.
And I can't imagine why our Spirit Squad wouldn't go and the band wouldn't go. I mean, it's an hour and a half up the road to Fort Worth. The only thing, and I'll check on that today, and I'll see if I can get an answer from David Kay probably. But the only thing I can think of was neutral site game. Louisville said, yeah, we can't bring our band and our yell leaders, maybe to make it a more equal neutral site.
Right.
How about you don't bring yours?
I mean, that makes the most sense, I guess, just for the travel, but still, I would want them there. I would want them there.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. And they were missed because it was almost a pretty sterile atmosphere there at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. They'll play another game next year, another neutral site. The Louisville radio guys, and Paul Rogers was on with us on Friday. They're hearing that it may be Nashville for the neutral site next year, but nothing set in stone there. And it remains to be seen, I guess, whether it's this time of year or if it might be earlier, November, December, in the more traditional non-conference portion of the schedule. But a rough shooting day for the Bears, especially from beyond the arc. Baylor was 2 of 22 shooting three-pointers against a top 25 team that shoots a lot of threes and makes a lot of threes, and that was too much to overcome. Cam Carr had a really rough shooting day. He was 1 for 11, Baylor's leading scorer, had only 5 points total in the game. Isaac Williams had a terrific game, 20 points to lead Baylor in scoring, but when Cam Carr is only scoring 5, the margin of error is pretty thin for this team to get a win, especially over a good team. And they couldn't do it against Louisville on Saturday. So 82-71 was the final. Bears now 13-12 on the season, and they'll take a 3-9 conference record to Manhattan to play K-State tomorrow night, home to play Arizona State this upcoming Saturday. Women, a big game in Orlando yesterday, Sunday afternoon. Everybody played. Everybody scored. 30-point win over the UCF Knights. A game they played it like they should have, and they won it 93-63. And then last night in the Big 12 on the women's side, TCU beat West Virginia 59-50. So as the dust settles from the weekend, and there was a lot of dust stirred up this week in Big 12 women's basketball. Baylor and TCU are tied for the league lead at 10-3. So Baylor, despite that loss to TCU in that big game on Thursday here in Waco, they are back tied with the Horned Frogs at the top of the standings, 10-3 or maybe 11-3. Maybe they're 11-3, but they are tied at the top of the standings. And West Virginia now game back. Texas Tech got beat at Oklahoma State. They would be another game back. But a good win for Nikki Collin and the Baylor women on the road in Orlando against UCF yesterday. Also from the weekend, how about Baylor softball? They go 4-1, the tournament in San Diego. So they are now 9-2 on the season, and really, really good tournament to go 4-1 out there. The only loss was to the host San Diego State team. And baseball opened the season with a 3-game series against New Mexico State at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. And first, not to bury the lead, but they swept the series, won all 3 games against New Mexico State. That was terrific. That's a great way to start the year. They'll host Texas State tomorrow afternoon at 4. But I'm sure you saw or heard on Friday the game by Tice Armstrong, the newcomer to the Baylor roster this year. He's a transfer from UT Arlington. So his first game in a Baylor uniform, all he does is go out and hit 3 grand slams in the game. Garrett, 3 grand slams, 12 RBIs in your debut.
You can't ask for better. You can't script it. It was really remarkable, and it's something, honestly, most of us will probably never see again.
Right.
We will never see that again. Smokey and I was able to record with Tice on Saturday. We have it up on 365 Sports. Nice. He is super humble, super loved the moment. I love the story behind it, where his family's in town for a wedding. A lot of these people haven't seen him play. His family's from Canada, so they were all in town, and they were able to capture this moment with him. It's a really special thing. It's cool for history. It's really remarkable. And Baylor baseball is fun again. They are fun.
Oh, yeah. And that was pretty exciting. I say this a lot, and it proved out again this weekend. Sometimes you go to the ballpark and you never know what you're going to see. Yep. In baseball more than any other sport, I think. And who could have ever anticipated that? But Tice Armstrong, call him Thrice Armstrong, 3 grand slams on Friday for the Bears. And the thing is, he came up yesterday in the series finale, and the bases were loaded, and you're thinking, could he cap off the weekend here? And he got hit by a pitch. So he got another RBI being hit by a pitch and had 14 RBIs on the weekend. So pretty amazing and a great start for Baylor baseball. We'll talk with Zach Dillon, Baylor assistant coach, coming up in a bit. But another big success story over the weekend was Baylor men's tennis. All they did last week was win 3 games over top 10, 3 matches against top 10 opponents. That included knocking off Wake Forest on Saturday in the ITA National Indoors to advance to the semifinals of the ITAs. That comes up tonight against the University of Texas. And we'll take a break and visit with Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach, coming off a huge week, setting up another huge week for Baylor men's tennis. We'll visit with Coach Woodson coming up. Stay with us. John Morris Show, presented by the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank, Central Texas. And we'll be right back after this. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. I've been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
Is your vehicle in need of service or repairs? Visit Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center and get 10% off with a valid student ID. With ASE certified technicians, you can trust Freddie Kish to provide excellent service. Offering complete car care services, foreign and domestic, from general maintenance to major repairs, Freddie Kish has got you covered. You can rest assured you're in good hands. Awarded the ASE Blue Seal of Excellence, quality is a guarantee. So hurry over to Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center.
Welcome back, John Morris Show on a Monday. We are glad you are with us today, brought to you in part by the Brazos Landing, the Mardi Gras this year. This Mardi Gras, indulge in the spirit of New Orleans at Brazos Landing in Waco. Get the festivities started with $5 hurricanes and rum runners. I don't know what that is. Enjoy specialty homemade Cajun dishes like seafood gumbo. I do know that. Boudin balls, red beans and rice with sausage, and finish the festive meal with king cake, only at the Brazos Landing in Waco. Check out that great menu on the web, thebrazoslanding.com. And welcome back. And as we mentioned, what a great week last week, setting up another huge week for Baylor men's tennis. Let's welcome in on match day this morning, Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. Coach, I appreciate you being with us with a big match coming up tonight. Congratulations on advancing to the semifinals of the ITA National Indoors.
Well, thanks, John, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and certainly excited for what's happened over the past week, and looking forward to another fun match tonight.
How about that? It is Texas coming up tonight, but let's go back to last week. You start the week, great win over Texas A&M. Wow, that's great. Great momentum, I would think, going into the ITAs. And then you beat UCF, a team that I think was undefeated going in, and that advances you to a matchup with Wake Forest here in Waco, the defending national champions, and you get the win over Wake. How about the week as a whole, wins over 3 top 10 teams?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk for a long time about each one of those wins and what it means to the program and to our guys, but put them all together, and what a special week. So much fun to be able to do it at home in front of our amazing fans and support staff and everybody that pours into these guys. It was really special, but really cool to see us, gain some momentum on Monday and then just build on it match after match. It was a lot of fun.
Atmosphere was really good, wasn't it, in the Hawkins Indoor facility?
Incredible. And so it started out on Monday night, and my wife had actually, thought, hey, the Hawkins Indoor, we're doing this blackout, for us, it's the same name as the city and Stranger Things, the show that's very popular. And so let's do a theme, Hawkins, let's turn Hawkins upside down. And so we made these really cool shirts. Again, credit to Vanessa and Jackie Haddock. I mean, amazing effort. And the students were fired up for that and just had an incredible turnout. And so that was a lot of fun, really amazing experience. And I think that gave all of our guys and our team a boost going into indoors. And then the momentum carried. Everybody had so much fun on Monday. Hey, let's do it again on Friday. Against a really, really good Central Florida team that already has wins over Southern Cal, Oklahoma, Florida, Florida State, Miami coming into our match. And so we did a great job there. And then that set up, obviously, the big one against Wake Forest, which turned out to be one of the best college matches I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. Wow. Tell us about that. 4-3 win over Wake Forest, defending national champions. I think they won the doubles point, right? And then y'all came back and beat them 4-3.
Yeah, we, they won last year. They won the National Indoor Championships and the Outdoor Championships. And, they were the clear favorite, I think, in this tournament coming in. I thought the doubles point was a point we had to have if we were going to beat them. And so it was a little disappointing to not take the doubles point. And then they got on top of us early in singles. They won 4 first sets out of the 6. And so it was looking pretty good for them. But credit to our guys. We got down pretty fast on courts 4, 5, and 6. And we hung around. Like we talk about all the time. Our guys kept their hands in the fire and they kept battling. Our fans, kept supporting, kept, pulling for our guys just, to try to turn things around. And slowly but surely, each one of our guys started to gain some momentum. And the couple of guys that got up, Connor and Z, just did an amazing job of staying on top and closing their matches out. And even though we lost at 4 and 6, they made it really competitive and dragged the matches on late into the second sets. And I think that just kind of kept the pressure off of guys like Devin and Luke long enough to make their matches super relevant. And then next thing you know, we're 3-2 down and Luke's getting towards the end of his third set. Devin is slightly behind, but getting to the end of his third set. And it looks like, man, if we're going to end up potentially in 2 tiebreakers here. There was a moment where Luke had match point in his breaker, and Devin was at match point on his opponent's serve, but deuce, and the guy hit a really good serve, and so Luke converted. That made it 3-3, but then Devin was now at 5-all, and so amazing atmosphere. I couldn't have been prouder of the way that our guys performed under pressure. They played to win. There was no, I think dip from Wake Forest. I think our guys just really committed to their game and executed at a very high level. So right when we needed it, Luke and Devin delivered the goods.
Man, that is terrific. What a great win there. And it advances you to the semifinals, a matchup with, look, it's Texas. Longtime rival Texas coming up tonight. How do you see that one this evening?
Oh, it's going to be fun. They're a really, really good team as well. That's just now getting healthy. They had an absolute thriller with TCU. Just this whole triangle was a wild couple of days because Texas beat TCU 4-3 last match on. We beat Wake Forest 4-3 last match on, and then yesterday Wake Forest beat TCU 4-3 last match on, 7-6 in the third, and so. It was just very, very high level stuff and exciting matches. And so I know Texas is riding high as well from a big win over TCU. And they're a great program. And I think being in the Dallas area, I got to imagine, we're going to have 2 really great crowds. It's going to be split right down the middle, Baylor and Texas. So, they've got a really good roster, a very strong team. I would say, maybe they have a little bit more talent than us, but I think we have a little bit more experience than them. So it should be a really good contrast of, styles here.
Man, that's terrific. And you make the point, you and SMU, Baylor and SMU were hosting these ITA Indoors, and now you go to Dallas, to SMU for the semifinals and then the championship. You play Texas tonight, 6:30 there. And then who is in the other semifinal?
Ohio State and Virginia.
Okay. All right. And the 2 winners would meet tomorrow night. Is that right, for the championship?
The 2, yes, it would be 6:30 tomorrow night as well, I believe.
Very good. Very good. Mm-hmm. Well, too bad we couldn't have, everything here in Waco. Be nice to just continue that role, wouldn't it, at the Hawkins Indoor?
Oh, it's been so amazing to play at home. And I totally agree. But we talked about this when it happened. Hey, if we end up in the semifinals and we need to drive to Dallas, we're not going to be complaining. So I promised I wouldn't. And here we are. So it's a really good problem to have. I'm excited to be up here with the guys.
Man, that is great. Well, thanks very much for being on with us on a match day this morning, and good luck tonight. We'll be tuned in. Baylor and Texas semifinals coming up this evening. Coach Woodson, thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Sick 'em.
All right, man. Thanks very much. Baylor and Texas semifinals of the ITA National Indoors comes up tonight. It is in Dallas. It is 6:30 this evening. Ohio State, Virginia, the other semifinal, and the winners meet for the ITA National Championship tomorrow night. Baylor 2 wins away from that. But what a week! I mean, I would say the best week in Baylor tennis history to knock off 3 straight top 10 opponents. This is a team that's won a national championship. They did it in 2004. So they may have had a week in there. was a pretty good week, beating UCLA for the national championship back then. But this one certainly compares with any of recent note. First time to beat 3 straight top 10 opponents since 2021. So that'll be fun to watch this evening as Baylor takes on Texas coming up tonight. All right, that'll be fun. Great week for Baylor tennis. Also a great week, great opening weekend for Baylor baseball. They swept New Mexico State. Let's check in at Baylor Ballpark coming up next and visit with Zach Dillon, Baylor baseball assistant coach, talk about the 3-game sweep of New Mexico State at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. We are brought to you in part by Alliance Bank. Alliance Bank Central Texas, your Central Texas business bank. Voted by Forbes 2025 Best in-State Banks, Alliance Bank Central Texas values their relationships with their customers and their communities. With several locations across Central Texas, alliancebanktexas.com. We're also brought to you by Kish's Complete Car Care Center, family owned and operated. Kish's Complete Car Care in Waco has been serving Waco since 1998. Voted #1 auto shop year after year, located on Franklin Avenue, open Monday through Friday, open right now, 7:30 to 5:30. Call now for your next repair at Kish's Complete Car Care Center. Baseball, the topic. When we come back, Zach Dillon, our guest, Baylor baseball assistant coach. Stay with us. John Morris Show on the Rogue Media Network continues after this.
If I'm only wearing one suit this summer, it has to be Tuileries Performance Linen. It's wrinkle resistant, machine washable, and built with stretch and breathability that actually moves with you. It'll keep you cool, sharp, and stress-free at your next event.
Some of the best foods that you can eat are very simple foods. So we selected very lean proteins and put them on the best trajectory, the best plane to live a healthy life.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
Introducing Bark in the Belly Premium Dog Food. 100% of profits go to help dogs in need.
Where we sell mini bidets, not mini bidets.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people, from first accounts to business growth. They actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Back with us, John Morris Show on a Monday. We are brought to you in part by Waco Foundation Repair. Thanks to David Maddox, locally owned and operated. Waco Foundation Repair believes in one principle, one family helping another. They provide a full range of foundation repairs. They don't just do the job, they do it right. WacoFoundationRepair.com is the website. Thanks to David Maddox and the group there. Also brought to you by Allen Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, Ted Teague, with the coat over his shoulder and those new television spots reminiscent of Mr. Allen Samuels. Well done by Ted Teague. Brought to you by DeCampley's Restaurant, Morrison's Gifts, and Toking as well. All right, we'll check in at Baylor Ballpark, coming off a weekend sweep to open the season over New Mexico State. Pleased to have with us Zach Dillon, Baylor baseball assistant coach, former Baylor standout player. Zach, what a weekend. What a weekend is the way to start. Congratulations on the sweep.
Yeah, thanks, John. It was a really cool weekend. One of the, probably the most memorable opening day I've ever been a part of, obviously with Tice running into 3 grand slams, just having the opportunity to do that and get a bunch of national attention and recognition for it, and getting the Baylor baseball brand out there, really across the sports world on all platforms. So really exciting. And then the ability to come back and win a ball game that we jumped out early on Saturday and held on. And then, yesterday actually got pushed a little bit and had to fight through it, and saw some veteran guys come up and do big things and big moments, which was really good to see. Appreciate our crowds, appreciate the fan support, and look forward to keep filling that ballpark up as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Product like that, man, people ought to be out there. And let's go back to Friday and Tice Armstrong. Pretty amazing, isn't it? And I mean, you've seen a lot of games, you've played in a lot of games, you've coached a bunch. Ever seen anything like that? 3 grand slams in your Baylor debut.
Yeah, just really a special night for Tice, and he's a great kid that's earned it, and he's worked hard for it. And sometimes, indescribable things happen to good people, and he was fortunate to come up with the bases loaded 3 times, but to really put 3 good swings on the ball and on an offensive day, and just what a story, and what a great start for him. And hopefully we can get all his interviews out of the way so we can get him back to hitting.
Right. Well, and you said it, man, that is such a boost for the pro. It's the opening day of the season, for college baseball. And here this guy has the headlines from the opening day of the college baseball season. That's huge for the program moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's great for us. And, it's great anytime. And Baylor Athletics is, not anytime, but it's great most times. Baylor Athletics is in the national media, and we're being talked about in a positive light. And especially for our program, I think it was just a really cool day and great thing for us as a baseball program, for sure.
Tice came up yesterday with the bases loaded, tight game at that point, and I thought, oh, man, could he really cap the weekend? But he got hit by a pitch. He did get another RBI, didn't he?
He did, and that was a big moment in the game. And obviously, the more times we can get him up with the bases loaded this year, we're going to feel pretty good about it. He had another opportunity, his first at bat Saturday in the Saturday game, and really took his best swing of the weekend with the sac fly the other way in a 2-strike count and a full count. Drove the ball out to the wall to right field, and really probably, if he gets underneath it just a bit, probably would have had his 4th grand slam of the weekend.
That is wild. Well, great debut for Tice Armstrong, and fun to see there. How'd you feel about the bats overall this weekend?
Yeah, we're introducing so many new guys into the lineup that, you have a feeling of what you're going to get from them, but you really don't know till the bullets start flying and they're in the fire and how they're going to respond. Really pretty satisfied overall. I thought, from a situational standpoint, we can obviously do some things better. And as we get into the year and as these guys see more pitching, I think we've got a lot of room for growth, probably more so than we've had the last couple of years. And I'm speaking more to guys like Brady Janusek, who has loads of ability, and Hunter Snow. As those guys get comfortable in their freshman campaigns and really start to see pitching at this level on a daily basis, I think their room for growth is really, really high. And obviously if we can get those two guys going at a high level, around some of the veteran guys that have a bunch of college at bats under their belt, I think we've got a chance to be a really good offense. You saw some of the speed have an impact this weekend. We were able to steal some bags. We were able to go first to third multiple times. We were able to make some baseball plays because of our athleticism on the bases. And I think what you saw yesterday with a big north wind blowing in, early in the game, the bunt game got us going and allowed us to get out to an early lead, 3-0, with a couple bunts there early with Reebok and Sanders. So we have the ability to be dynamic. We've got to continue to get better at executing the little things and playing the game and having a solid, sound approach, really with every at bat of the game. I think we saw times where it was a momentum driven offense where one guy has success and a good at bat and then he passes the baton to the next guy. I think we just need that kind of relentless focus, throughout the period of a whole ball game. And, I think some of that goes to young hitters. I think some of that goes to when you're really good on the mound, as we were this weekend, guys get an early lead and tend to take their foot off the gas a little bit. And we can't afford to do that with the people we got coming up this next 2 weeks.
Yeah, first innings were really good for you all weekend, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. And that was a point of emphasis and something we've talked about. The winning percentage in college baseball, when you put up 2 runs or more early, the first team to put up 2 runs or more early and have it put up a 0 the next inning, they win like 79% of the time in college baseball, which is kind of a crazy number. So yeah. We've made it a point of emphasis to be really focused and really good at the beginning of games. Obviously, it's not always going to happen, but we were able to do it this weekend and hope the trend continues. But now we got to be better at sustaining that focus and competitive spirit for 9 innings of a ball game, pitch by pitch.
Zach Dillon, our guest, Baylor baseball assistant coach, one of the returning players and preseason All-Big 12, Travis Sanders. He had a nice weekend, didn't he? And you moved him up to the leadoff spot yesterday.
Yeah, I think we were obviously trying to see some other guys in the lineup yesterday against a left-handed arm and Brighton Clements. We wanted to get him out there and make his college debut. Cash McDade had really swung the bat for us well all fall and all spring. And we felt like those two guys were a pretty good matchup for the guy on the mound, and it was a good opportunity to get him in the game. In doing that, obviously we just kind of bumped everybody up a spot and slid Brighton down there at the bottom. But, we're still trying to figure out our personnel and as far as who fits where and what roles guys are going to be in and, how the lineup works best and kind of fits together. So, that's a work in progress and probably will be over the first part of the non-conference slate. So we feel good about where we're at. We've got a ton of room for growth. We're not going to be tricked by, early season success. We know we got to keep getting better, and our guys do too. I think the nice thing, as I alluded to before, is we really played 3 different kinds of games this weekend, and we were able to win all 3. And that being one that we got an early lead and we were able to keep expanding and kind of run away with it and not lose focus on the pitching side and defensive side and just really play a complete game on Friday. Saturday, was kind of a day where we're supposed to play early and have to kind of sit around all day and wait for the rain to clear out of here and jump out to an early lead. And the offense kind of went stagnant and we had to hold on. And, there was no panic and we were able to keep making pitches and finish out that game. I thought Calder and Bunch were outstanding. I thought Murray didn't have his best stuff and battled through it and got us through it. And then yesterday, obviously, they pushed us a bit. We jump out to an early lead. We pretty quickly relinquish lead. And what I liked about yesterday is our veteran guys played like veterans in big moments. You saw Sanders have big at bats. You saw Reebok have some big at bats and finally kind of get himself going a little bit. And then JJ Cannett with the big double there to take the lead and get us going. So, we need those guys. We need our older guys to play like older guys. Especially with the youth on the team and the freshmen in the lineup. There's going to be days where it requires the experience to be good, and yesterday we certainly were.
Yeah, man, that's great. And the defense was really good. Was it one error the whole weekend?
Yeah, one error, and you know what? It's funny. That's a play we work on.
Really?
Every day, all day, and he makes the play every day, all day. It's actually probably I'm most comfortable with him coming to get that ball up the middle on the run. I mean, he's really comfortable making that play, so he'll make it. He'll make it the next time he gets it. But really, yeah, pretty satisfied with the defense. As you can tell, I think there's a whole lot more athleticism in the outfield, which helps. When the ball goes up in the air, we feel like it's going to get caught, which is good. And the infield defense was solid this weekend. Travis really sliding over to shortstop, made some big time plays look really easy, as he can do. And Pearson moving to second, made some plays. All the plays Dotson and Clements had, they were sound on, and we work hard at it, and those guys should be. That's what they're prepared for.
Yeah, wow, fun to see. All right, look ahead, Texas State here tomorrow, 4:00 game, and then you go down to Round Rock. That'll be a real test coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big week. I mean, Texas State 3-0. They've got a bunch of really good hitters in the lineup. And a bunch of guys I know and have been around in my past. So they're going to come in here hungry, and obviously gave us a loss here last year. Trying to figure out who they're going to run out there on the mound at us, but it's really about playing the game and not the opponent. We're trying to impress upon our guys that if we play good baseball, if we throw strikes and play defense and have competitive bats for 9 innings, we're going to have a chance day in and day out, no matter who we play. So we're trying to play the game well right now. Fortunately, we were able to do that 3 times this weekend, and we're just going to keep that trend going and see where the chips fall at the end of the day.
Man, terrific. Well, thanks for your time. Sorry to get you out of that meeting early, but thanks for your time. We appreciate it, and congratulations on the start. Keep it rolling, and hope to get crowds getting bigger and bigger at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, J-Mo.
Thank you, Zach. See you.
Right.
Zach Dillon, Baylor assistant coach. He's the hitting coach, outstanding playing career here at Baylor, and now back on Mitch Thompson's staff. And so cool to have those guys who played here, he and Jim Blair, back on the staff. And it really a good weekend. No matter who you're playing, you don't take a sweep for granted. And to get a 3-game sweep of anybody is a great way to start the weekend. And you heard him say Texas State is 3-0. So they're coming in tomorrow, 4 p.m. first pitch. Come out and see these Bears tomorrow afternoon. All right, take a break. When we come back, we'll look ahead. We'll wrap things up. We'll share some birthdays with you. We got a little off schedule on Friday and didn't get the birthdays or anniversaries, so we want to mention that when we come back. Hey, stay with us. John Morris Show on the Rogue Media Network, presented by the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank, Central Texas, and we'll be right back after this.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
It's a great meditation sport. It's just yourself. You get out here, feeling the rhythm, feeling the rhyme. It's a good time.
Gives me the opportunity to hang out with the fellas for about 5 hours, and I get some solitude, relaxation, and a great time. Malban Golf.
As life goes on, it settles into patterns. But it doesn't have to go that way. You just have to do one thing. Get out of the house. Get out of your comfort zone. Leave room for the unexpected.
American Tourister. Is your vehicle in need of service or repairs? Visit Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center and get 10% off with a valid student ID. With ASE certified technicians, you can trust Freddie Kish to provide excellent service. Offering complete car care services, foreign and domestic, from general maintenance to major repairs, Freddie Kish has got you covered. You can rest assured you're in good hands. Awarded the ASE Blue Seal of Excellence, quality is a guarantee. So hurry over to Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center.
For those who want the best, look no further than the Founders Series by Louisiana Grills. If you want the best food, then you need the best grill. Louisiana Grills.
At DeCampley's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
All right, welcome back. Final segment, John Morris Show on this Monday morning. And an update, we were saying the baseball game is 4 o'clock tomorrow. I get word from Max Calderon. It is at 6:30 tomorrow. So they've moved baseball to 6:30 tomorrow night. Baylor hosting Texas State at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. Make note of that change. Then they go to Round Rock to play in that tournament coming up this weekend. That'll be really cool. All right, as we wrap things up, a reminder again, Baylor men's basketball leaving town today. They'll play at Kansas State tomorrow. 8 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night for the Bears and the K-State Wildcats. Interim head coach Matthew Driscoll taking over for Jerome Tang, whose firing was announced last night. And that'll be tough. I mean, Coach Drew and Coach Tang are brothers. I mean, they are brothers in every sense of the word on so many levels. And this is tough on Coach Drew, I know, but Baylor needs a win, and they're going to be focused and prepared to get a win there in Bramlage Coliseum tomorrow night. And then you look down, and even though Tang's not there, it's Matt Driscoll, who was an assistant here for a long time on Coach Drew's original staff, that went off to the University of North Florida, and now in his first year as an assistant at K-State. Bill Peterson is down there on that bench as well. So that will be an interesting matchup tomorrow night. Bears certainly need a win, get back in the win column in Big 12 play against the K-State Wildcats. That comes up tomorrow night. All right, we like to share birthdays and anniversaries with you. And Friday, we just got a little off schedule, and it was my fault completely. We didn't get to it. But Garrett, my apologies. It was your anniversary on Friday.
It was, man. This has been wild. It was 20 years.
20
years. I do not look it. Been married half my life, literally.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's been a really fun ride. It was remarkable. We had a good time. We didn't do much. My wife had homework over the weekend, so we kind of just hung out, let her do that. But I cooked her steak, and we're going to plan on taking her out to dinner pretty soon.
Very nice. Sounds good. Well, happy belated anniversary to you.
J-Mo.
So that was the day before Valentine's.
Yes.
It was the wedding when 20 years ago.
But we never even did a wedding. Like we
really?
Like we're so weird. Like we just said one day, we were like, "You want to get married?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, let's go to the JP." So we just went down to the JP, signed it. She went to work that evening, but yeah,
went back to work.
It worked, man.
It's legal though, right? Everything's legal.
Everything's good. Everything's legal.
Well, happy anniversary to you. 20th anniversary was Friday. And Michael Kelly texted me, and Michael and Teresa's 40th anniversary. How about that? Was
That's awesome. Congrats.
Yesterday, the 15th. So happy anniversary to Michael and Teresa Kelly. Birthdays today. It's Roy Nash's birthday today. Roy, tremendous Baylor man, neighbor works Waco. Happy birthday to Roy Nash. Shannon Rippey's birthday. Man, anybody that can live and be married to Jake Rippey, you deserve a shout out. Happy birthday to Shannon Rippey here in Waco. Let's see, who else do we have? Oh, it's John Simpson's birthday. Let me make sure it's the right John Simpson. I think it is. Former Baylor football and track guy. Happy birthday to John Simpson. Brian Hogue, a friend of mine from Danville, Kentucky. Brent Lightsey's birthday today. Nadine Bruner. Happy birthday to those folks today. Let me look at one other list to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. I think that's it. Mick Hubert is the retired now former voice of the Florida Gators. It's Mick's birthday. Happy birthday to him today. I think that's all I've got. You have anything to add, Garrett?
None today, Jim.
Okay, very good. Keep us updated. Keep us informed. If you have birthdays to add, they're always welcome on the list. All right, we're going to move out of here. We do appreciate everyone being with us today. Thanks to Michael Woodson being on. Baylor men's tennis in action tonight, looking for a 4th straight win over a top 10 opponent. Tonight, they'll take on 3rd-ranked Texas in the ITA National Indoors semifinals. Not in Waco. They hosted the first couple of rounds here. Now they have to move to Dallas, SMU hosting, so it'll be in Dallas tonight, 6:30 for Baylor and Texas men's tennis. The winner advances to meet either Ohio State or Virginia for the national championship, the indoor national championship. That comes up tomorrow, the championship match. But Baylor and Texas comes up tonight at 6:30. Baylor knocked off the defending indoor and outdoor national champion Wake Forest Demon Deacons on Saturday. So a lot of momentum for Baylor men's tennis. Would be huge to keep that rolling and knock off Texas tonight. Thanks to Zach Dillon, Baylor baseball assistant coach, for being on with us. Baylor baseball coming off the season opening 3-game sweep of New Mexico State at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark over the weekend. A weekend highlighted by the performance of Thrice Armstrong. Isn't that great? It's not original.
I like it.
Isn't that great?
That
Thrice Armstrong, 3 grand slams. And I missed this on Saturday because it was after our game, but we were out of town. But he came close to a 4th on Saturday.
He did, and not only that, but he set up. I believe it was either the next batter or the one after came up and hit a home run.
Oh, really?
Like, it was ridiculous how everything unfolded for them.
Yeah. So what a weekend. Great weekend at Baylor Ballpark. Thanks to those that were there. Really good crowds, and hopeful that this team deserves your support, and hopefully folks will continue to head out to Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. So thanks to them, and again, they'll play again tomorrow night. Make note of the time change. Now 6:30, first pitch for Baylor and Texas State. Again at Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark before they go on the road to play a 3-game tournament at Round Rock coming up this weekend. Hey, we really do appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much. Go out and make it a great Monday. Thanks to Brandon McGinnis and Garrett Ross behind the scenes. Thanks to Corey Dickman, who came in. Corey with Rogue Media Network came in and stole 2 chairs, but I guess it's not stealing. They're his. But nice to see Corey pass through our studios, where tomorrow we won't be here in the studio. Garrett will, but I'll be in Manhattan, Kansas. We'll come to you from there in advance of the Bears and the K-State Wildcats tomorrow night. So let's reconvene, same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. I'll be in Manhattan, Kansas. Thanks for being with us. John Morris Show, presented by the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Talk to you tomorrow. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
At DeCampli's Italian Ristorante, we are committed to providing an authentic Italian experience. Through exceptional service, delicious food, and a family environment, we want our guests to create memories that they will want to share with their family and friends. Open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Make your reservation today. Check us out on Facebook and at decampleys.com.
My name is David Maddox, owner of Waco Foundation Repair. I've been in business right at 20 years, incorporated since 2003, and nonstop, very busy business to be in. We stay plenty busy with this good old Central Texas ground that constantly moves and does its thing. If you think you have foundation repair issues, call Waco Foundation Repair today.
Is your vehicle in need of service or repairs? Visit Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center and get 10% off with a valid student ID. With ASE certified technicians, you can trust Freddie Kish to provide excellent service. Offering complete car care services foreign and domestic, from general maintenance to major repairs, Freddie Kish has got you covered. You can rest assured you're in good hands. Awarded the ASE Blue Seal of Excellence, quality is a guarantee. So hurry over to Freddie Kish's Complete Car Care Center